just share this. So Kendria asked me to be on the board in 2009, 2008 maybe. And there was a couple boards in between here and then. And whenever finances came up, and they were bleak at times, our board would always lean into, well, what are we doing to fix this? But we had come so far. And at that moment, it seems like years, I would remind our board how Kendria did this job as a volunteer in the beginning, because she was passionate about it, because she cared. So without more ado, Kendria, close.
I mean, you promised me a flash mob, but maybe not this year. According to Google, a Gala speech should only be 5 to 9 minutes, so, here's hoping. I know that's not why you're all here tonight, but I will take the few minutes that we get together as a group and hope that you walk away at the very least inspired. So that's my theme for tonight, inspire. To make someone feel like they want to do something. At a time when it may be hard to look around and be inspired, I ask you to think about this here tonight. What inspires you about this work, this cause? And I hope you come away tonight feeling inspired about our future. So a very quick backstory, because 5 minutes. In 2007, I was a stay-at-home mom from the Midwest with 3 kids under the age of 6, living in a state I was pretty sure I wasn't long for. A college degree in environmental science, but a passion for all things food. I fell into this organization because of passion for food and where it came from. That was it. And that is how it all started. And that might resonate with some of you. What I knew was that I was feeding young children and they needed to do better. There's a sentiment you hear people say someone should do something about that. So I took up the role as executive director to this nonprofit because if I didn't, it was going to fold. And for the first several years, I wouldn't even use the term executive director. It felt a little too much. So I just said director. I was not an expert, but I was passionate, and I knew I could inspire others to be just as passionate. So I set out to change the food system in New Jersey. 17 years later, we went from a grassroots idea of a better way to grow food and feed ourselves in the Garden State to an influential leading voice of sustainable ag. We are pioneering programs that are being replicated across the state, and we have grown well beyond those grassroots beginnings. So I want to share a little bit of a highlight reel with a few programs we're excited about and some initiatives we have taken on in 2024. One is our Farm to Pantry program. This is where food pantries are being directed and incentivized to buy local. That means the farmer gets paid, and the more underserved and undernourished of our communities are getting farm fresh, healthy food. We are just scratching the surface of this program. Our Grain Project. One way we can transition large swaths of land to a more regenerative way of growing food is small grains. There is a theme in a lot of our work. It's this idea of bringing back. Growing grains is not a new concept, but the idea of get bigger, get out kind of took over for a while and threw us off track. So we want to bring back the small ancient grain growing. We want to see the return of grain mills in every county. I mean, there's a reason there's a mill street in every town. In our environmental stewardship role, we are embarking on establishing the Collinsville River as wild and scenic. This is a congressional designation that will ensure protections forever for that beautiful river that so many of you know and enjoy. It's a 5 to 7 year process, but what I said before, if we don't do it, it does. In our local share of gleaning program, which was conceived in 2013, this is the year we hit the 1 million pounds gleaned mark. We marked 1 million pounds gleaned. That's 1 million pounds of food, rescued, delivered to food pantries, and ending up on the plates of families most in need. We have a delegate seat. The Food Shed Alliance is honored to hold a delegate seat at the New Jersey Ag Convention. This gives us a seat at the table forevermore until they throw us out in shaping ag policy. The reality is that we have a lot of impressive programming, but what all of this is really doing at a higher level is creating a shift in the system. We don't want to just feed people glean produce at the food pantries or farm fresh food at the free farmers markets. We want to eliminate the line, or at the very least, we want to shorten the line. We We don't just want to showcase a grain program in the Highlands. We want to see a grain cooperative in every county where the farmer and the miller can thrive. We want to inspire all the farmers along the watershed to farm in ways that are good stewards of our water. Not just the pollen skill, but all the waterways in our state. Because what happens in the land directly affects the water. We want people to see cows in the river as not something cute, but something that's a problem. That's for you, Chris Dunbar. We don't want to just provide land access on some farm plots to some underserved of our communities. We want to drive real change at a policy level to create a system where Black and brown and indigenous farmers and other minorities have equitable access to land and markets. And quite frankly, if it's not too much to ask, we'd like to take back the word conventional. This has been co-opted by the commodity farming industry, and we would like to educate the general population that a return to natural, chemical-free farming that supports the land, the people, and the environment is actually conventional. So I hope you're feeling a little inspired. I mean, I may be a little closer to that 9-minute mark, but there's a reason. It's because while all of that stuff I just talked about is so wonderful and so inspiring and is going to drive real change, what inspires me most about this work is my team and the staff of the Food Channel Alliance. From a lonely, just me in 2007, to our team now of 15 people. And when I say your name, I'm going to ask you to stand up and please stay standing. I have never experienced the kinds of dedication, passion, and deep, deep devotion for the collective work of improving our food system at every facet. From the ones that are working to feed those underserved and undernourished populations with fresh, healthy farm food, our local share team, Christine, Shannon, Daisy, Reed, Renee, Teresa. And well, Renee is a chef for tonight. Yes. From those that are working in our fields with our sage farmers to create access to land and access to markets for regenerative farmers. Tess, who's already standing, Tess. Meg. Where's Meg? Meg is our newest hire just 2 weeks ago. From the ones that are in the river, quite often literally ensuring that we can have clean water for generations to come in this area, our Pollenskill watershed team, Chris, David, and Brian. Our newest initiative to growing small heritage grains to bring back the infrastructure of grain mills, transition large chemically farmed areas of land. Our grains leader, Manish. Over there behind the computer, Brianna, our marketing and communications coordinator. Y'all, if you would have told me in 2007 we'd have a marketing department, I would have never believed it. But she's the reason that slideshow looks so good tonight and all those things on your table look so beautiful. Our tireless development director, fundraiser extraordinaire. You will never meet anyone more passionate about this work than Eric Derby. And finally, although I'm very sad that she was not able to be here tonight, the powerhouse behind the scenes, writing the grants, reporting on the grants, herding us in every direction. If there's anything that goes wrong or anything we need, we call upon her. My partner in crime for the last 15 years, Lisa Kelly. Last but certainly not least, our board of directors. They're not all here tonight, but the board members that are here, if you could please stand. Ruthie, Elizabeth, Warren, Jen. I say that we are a volunteer job. This is what inspires me. This is what inspires me, and if that's not inspiring, I'm not sure what is. I started this by saying that I had a passion for food and where it came from. I took one step at a time, one next best step, and this is where we've gotten. So what can you all do if you feel inspired? Anything. Literally anything. Make a change where you stand in your community in any way that you can. That's the ripple effect. Feeling like you have the power to do something gives you hope. So as you leave here today, I ask that you think about how this evening may have inspired you, and maybe what one thing you might do to make a change. And if you feel really inspired, email that to me so I can hold you accountable. in this room to please stand up.